Are you familiar at all with Dr. Holbert?
Unfortunately, I have familiarity for a fraudulent blood submission and set of results that we have for him.
When was that?
In the weeks just prior to this event being disclosed.
And who was the horse?
Well, there were 14 horses that he drew blood on that were submitted to an EIA laboratory in Texas. That EIA laboratory had positive results for Mr. Taylor's horses that they reported fraudulently as negative. So we don't know what the role of that veterinarian was, other than he drew the blood that issued fraudulent results from the local laboratory, and he has connections with that laboratory.
So the lab, so he was the vet that drew the blood, and the lab said it was negative, but you think it was positive, and so
we've proven it was positive. And the technician admits that she had positive results that she fraudulently reported as negative, and she is an employee of Dr. Holbert.
And when were these tests done? When
was
the blood drawn?
Those samples were drawn on September 18th.
Which horses?
There's a list of 14 horses, including 7 that are now positive. So I would have to look at my list. But they're horses that were located in Texas at the time.
And are they on your spreadsheet?
Yes, there are 7 positive horses that are on that spreadsheet that were part of the fraudulent submission. Yeah.
What about the other 7?
The other 7 are being held for a 60-day rebleed. So their status has not been finalized.
Okay, but I thought you had verified that they had tested positive.
7 of the 14 tested positive. The other 7 are still under 60-day quarantine for a regulatory rebleed because we don't know their final status.
Okay, so the other 7 were not what you call fraudulent. They legitimately were negative.
I think the jury's still out on that.
Okay, did you retest the blood?
We did not retest that blood because it was not provided to us by the laboratory, but we did regulatory rebleeds of those horses that were collected by Texas Animal Health Commission. What I don't have, because I don't have the original samples, I can't compare whether the samples reported negative by the private lab are also the same samples from the regulatory rebleed horses from Texas Animal Health Commission.
And so these, what you call fraudulent results from a private laboratory in Texas, were those, the negative results, were those provided to Mr. Taylor?
They were.
And when were they provided to Mr. Taylor?
Probably on 9/18, the day the test was reportedly completed.
And do you know why those tests were run?
I believe someone in Mr. Taylor's camp or the owners, I don't know who requested the test, requested Dr. Please forgive me, I'm getting his name wrong, Helbert, to go draw blood from those horses. And we only found out later that those had been sampled by a private practitioner before we arrived to do regulatory bleeds on those same horses.
Okay, so as far as you know, somebody within Heath Taylor's orbit had requested, was concerned enough to request a blood draw, and then the information that he received back from an, I assume, accredited laboratory was that those horses had all tested negative.
That's correct. He did receive that information, and it was not legitimate.
What was the name of the tech that had?
The technician's name is Leanne Gilkey.